How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Shredding Diary. This week is chapter 4. This will be for the week commencing the 10th of April to the 17th of April. We're going to run through all the weigh-ins, how the week went, and how I'm feeling, and how diet and training is going. Apologies that this is coming out on Thursday. What happened is that Bank Holiday Monday ended up doing nothing, if I'm completely honest with you. Tuesday, the Alpha Elite t-shirts came, so I spent all night taking pictures and sorting that out and doing the editing. That came out last night. Today is now Wednesday, so I'll be able to film and edit this, and then you'll be seeing it on your screens on Thursday. So apologies for the delay, but it had to be done just the way things worked out. Anyway, let's crack on with the video. So first things first, I'm going to run through the weigh-ins. I'm going to be using my phone as I did last week and tell you how each day went. So let's start with the 10th of April. 10th of April, I came in at 68.7. In fact, let me just let you know, I started at 70.9 kgs. If you haven't followed this from the start, that's my starting weight, 70.9 kgs. So let's hit you again with this. 10th of April, 68.7 kgs. 11th of April, 68.6, then 68.6, then I went up by 4, 69 flat, then a dramatic low, 67.9. I can tell you what happened there. I'm going to be honest, I consumed alcohol. Now when you have alcohol, it basically, when you wake up the next day, because it dehydrates you so much, you look and you are leaner, and on the scales you look leaner, but trust me, that is going to come back on as soon as you start having water, and you're going to put on more weight because you've consumed alcohol and the calories are going to soon follow. So that's why I was that low, and then I shot back up to 68.8, so almost a whole kg, so you can see what happened there. And then I finished the week on the 17th at 68 flat, which was good. So it was a bit of a weird week. It was a bit in the middle. I'm glad I've now crashed under the 69s and I'm staying in the 68 region. It was nice to see 67.9, but I did blame it on the alcohol because that's what it was. So ending this week at 68 flat, as hopefully next week we can go into the 67 region and start crashing through those numbers and break through 67 to get to 66 kgs, which is going to be awesome. Just to tell you about what we had to do to actually start losing weight. We started doing cardio, went on the Sunday and I did an hour. We also have now started to cut back carbohydrates, so the week coming now, you're going to be seeing weight slowly coming down a bit faster, because we've dropped 45 grams of carbs, which is 180 calories per day. So the weekly overall, we're going to be losing a lot more weight. But for this week, there was not that many major changes. We were just stuck doing a little bit of cardio, 10 minutes per day, and that's why we only saw little notches off. So we drank a lot of alcohol. Yeah, can't really apologise about that, but it's one of those things that happens. It was a friend's birthday and you got to enjoy the little things in life. So let's move forward on to the general feel and training. So training's going well. Weights are actually going up, which I'm really excited about. My bench has now gone to 75 kgs, which is a personal best for me. The problem with me before this cut, I never did track my weights. That was really bad English. I never used to track my weights. And now that I am tracking it in a diary that I take with me, I can see that my weights are starting to progress, and I'm at 75 kgs for bench now. Overhead press, I'm doing 25 kgs, which is slowly increasing. Arnold press, I'm doing 16 kgs, which is also increased. So everything is just going pretty well, pretty smoothly. I don't feel fatigued or tired, but I am drinking a lot more energy drinks. I'm having at least 2 Red Bulls a day, and sometimes a pre-workout, which is probably bad for my health in the long run, but I do feel tired all the time. But I do feel generally more happier than I did on bulk, because bulk was, towards the end I was feeling so lethargic and just a bit crappy, probably because I was feeling crappy about the way that I looked as well. But in the general feel of it all, I'm feeling great. It's going really well. I'm happy with the weight loss, and I'm hoping that the week going forward we're going to start smashing down a lot more. So let's talk about the progress pictures. So the last week I was pretty upset with the progress pictures. Didn't look that great, I looked a bit flat, and I guess that's just my body adapting to the way things are. We didn't really change much, cardio was very minimal, and we haven't changed any calories yet. So I think I kind of plateaued and I wasn't looking, any different. This week, from the back, I'm looking a lot different now. From the starting picture, my hips feel really starting that they're coming in. When I swing my arms, which I'm doing now, don't brush my hips anymore, which I used to. You can also see the top of the back and the traps starting to come out a lot more in the back pitch. The front pictures, abs are starting to come in. It really does depend on the lighting and the day, or if it's a rainy Tuesday night, then you might get some ab pics, but it's really hard to get the perfect timing on them. As for everything else, I feel like I'm looking leaner. Face, definitely so. I didn't really realise until you kind of just catch yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh yeah, that has changed a bit. I look a bit elongated. But yeah, I'm happy with how things are going. This week I'm happy with some of the differences, but I am really craving that 12-week goal now. I really want to see what I look like at the end of it, and if that, it was all worth it in the end, which I think it will be. But there's always that little bit of doubt in your head that says, am I really going to be much better than I started with? And let's hope that we are looking, and you will follow me until the end of week 12. But yeah, overall, pictures on the screen as I was talking. Have a quick look, see if there's anything I can work on, if you can point any out weak points or anything like that, or any body part which doesn't look so great. Let me know in the comments so I know that I can work on this for the next bulking phase or work on it in the long run. I had a nice comment last time. Somebody mentioned about my posture and that it seemed a bit offset. So I've begun working, and use some of the tips that he said to sort my posture out a bit. I do stand a bit slouched sometimes, I don't know why. Maybe a desk job, always bent over, so I'm just used to always being a bit slouchy. But yeah, that is the progress pictures, and we'll be moving on to cheat meals. In terms of cheat meals, which I did last week and I showed you a few tricks and tips, I've had no cheat meals this week except one. In terms of cheat meals, I didn't have any cheat meals except one, and that's when I went out drinking and I had a teeny bit of a hangover. So I ended up going to Nando's, which is a pretty lean choice. I had the butterfly chicken, which was a revelation for me. I kept on buying the quarter and the half, but because of the skin on it, you were getting way too many fat macros, almost my whole day of fat if I had the half of chicken. But if you get the butterfly, it's like almost zero fat and really high protein. And so when I did that, I was able to have chips, which I haven't had in such a long time, which were delicious and cured my hangover. And we also had the super grains, which I've had on previous times I went to Nando's during this cut, and they're always pretty lean and really tasty. So that's a bit of advice for you. If you want to go for that sort of meal, if I wouldn't suggest go get a hangover or go out drinking or anything like that. But if you are going to do it and you want to have a bit of a cheat meal, have it at the start of the day, and then you can base your macros around that towards the end of the day, and basically have some poverty macros, have 40 grams of pasta and a bit of chicken here and a couple of small meals, because you're going to feel better in the long run having that big awesome meal at the start to refuel your day so you don't feel so crappy. And that's the cheat meals for the week. Just to add, I hope you had a very happy Easter. I did. I've had some Easter eggs which I'm looking at very enviously, which I might have at the end of cut, which I'm really going to indulge on. But other than that, I really hope you've had a good one. And if you can like, comment and subscribe, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.